Warning, the show you're about to watch or listen to may contain foul language and sentences that may make no sense because this show was made and is hosted by an American. Viewer discretion is advised, bruv.
Hit the button. Welcome to the Max Football Podcast. This is the take two. We're not just don't worry about the take one. Let's have some fun. I'm joined by Beer, who's probably down there. I'm joined by Chad, Liverpool fan, Man United fan, Spurs fan. The Facebook group chat that overtook another Facebook group chat that has now turned into a podcast. So finally, we're here. We're making this happen, and we had to do it now because we have to talk about the crazy race that is the top of the Premier League, the race for the Premier League title. I really want to laugh so hard right now because we just did about 20 minutes of this whole thing without pressing record. But it's going to be that much funnier because, again, we now know where we're going with this whole thing. Speaking of where we're going, we're going to shoot right into it. Being the Liverpool fan, as we previously talked about, I'm going to keep referencing it as a funny bit. 10 games. You're out of that. It is Europa League. He's got 10 games plus the Europa League. Villa sticks out as a thorn in your side, as a possible tough one. United cannot be underplayed. Neither can Spurs. Out of those three, who do you really think you're going to lose to? That's what I didn't ask you last time. Who do you really think you could go in there and even at the hardest fought you can fight, or fight you can fought? I think that's how you spell it. Who do you think is going to end up pulling one out? Out of those three,
I think that we'll go into
again a Man United, a Spurs,
a loss, and not be surprised at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's difficult because two of them teams have already beat us this season. But the one I'm worried about is the one that haven't beat us yet. Villa is the one I'm worried about the most because if they turn up at Villa Park, it could be anything. But you look what happened at Old Trafford last week. If they turn up, and Spurs, like you were saying earlier, if they turn up, it depends who turns up. But on paper, the one that I'm worried most about is Villa, which is weird, but it is.
I don't think it's weird. You have to understand Villa's been good this season. Okay, they have been a team that have done well. I always want to say people that beat Forest look good, but Forest is Forest. They are who they are. I can understand like where you're afraid, but I'm looking at this, and here are a couple of games that immediately stick out to me as ones to be a little to take Villa a little less seriously, if I could say it like that. And yes, I have to emphasize the Spurs, the fact that they lost at Villa Park 4-0, absolute run. But let me give you one that it kind of brings questions. They barely beat Luton Town. Going all the way back earlier this month. They barely got past Luton Town. They lost to Chelsea. They lost to Newcastle. And then they drew against them as well, Chelsea, in the FA Cup. Lost to them against Man United. There's not too much about Villa that scares me other than the fact of, as you say, when they turn up. Because that's the thing I'm also learning about the Prem. That's something I talked about in my one episode of American Talking Tottenham, being brand new to the Premier League. Maybe call it 45 games total. There's an old saying in American football, any given Sunday. Any team can win any given Sunday. And there's literally that same exact stereotype or, I guess, cliche, if you will, in English football or in just footy in general, any given Saturday, anybody can turn up. Look at if we go on the other side of the pond and you go to like Germany or whatever, to the Bundesliga, look at guys like Bayern Munich getting the greatest English striker there ever was, and they're not even going to win their league. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane because it's just, that's how this game is. It's really truly is any given Sunday or every given Saturday at that instance. But I get you being worried about Villa. I don't take them for much. Now, I mean, granted, there is an old saying, we could Spurs it up.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But I think that's, and I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own team's horn. I don't. But I feel in your instance, that's the one and only team that's really going to be the wrench thrower. Because I feel like the FA Cup is going to still sting when you guys go back to Old Trafford. I feel like the sting is going to be there. Now, Old Trafford's hard to play at. I will admit that. It's hard to play at. But you guys are going to have a chip on your shoulder, a goal in mind, and and everything is for Klopp. Everything is for Klopp. It's all for him. So I really, out of those three, I'm tooting my own horn and saying, don't lose at home to Spurs, because that would throw a total wrench in the whole bee. But speaking of throwing a whole total wrench in everything, I want to talk about Man United. When my first, thoughts of wanting to follow the Premier League and getting into English football, Man United was the top of the team to follow, and I couldn't be one of those guys that, you went for the Yankees or you went for the Lakers, you know what I mean? I had to find my own route. And truth be told, I'm kind of glad I did, because Man United's not the Man United of old. I mean, they've been, when they're, as you put it beautifully, Chad, when they're on, but when they're off, they are not the team that deserves to wear those jerseys. Now, battling for fifth is something that Ange Postecoglou, or fourth, I should say, is something he hates talking about. But fifth being a chance for the Premier League, I'm sorry, for the Champions League being another spot for English, is that your goal in mind, being a Manchester United fan? Do you feel you have enough to get to that fifth spot, challenge maybe for the fourth spot, ensure a chance at Champions League, or do you feel you're going to drop to Europa and hope that just works out for the best?
The problem is that we're the most inconsistent side in the Premier League. It just sums it up. Not going to make the excuse saying that injuries have been there all season. It's like, what's the training structure? Why we still got players in the club who are just not Premier League proven? I wouldn't wish them for fucking Wrexham. And Wrexham are in the third tier. Fourth tier. When you got players like Scott McTominay in your team,
that they were Division 1.
And when you've got players like Victor Lindelof in your team, we're going nowhere. We're going backwards. If you'd have been supporting United about 20 years ago, then people would say, oh yeah, bandwagon jump, but fourth's not a trophy. I've seen top reds all over Twitter saying, fourth's a trophy. Is it? What'd you get for it? It's a Champions League spot. We're not getting it if we don't win it.
Yeah.
What's the point? It's just like you put it out. You could get one game where we could be absolutely brilliant, like we were against Liverpool. You can get another game. We could lose to Sheffield United. It can happen.
And that wouldn't surprise anyone.
No, it wouldn't. It doesn't shock me.
No, it wouldn't. That's it. God, spoken like a true fan. It's crazy to hear it though, because again, Man United has a lineage behind it. You in America, I hate saying it like that, but it's the truth. But in America, you see, yes, this is old as all holy hell. You see Beckham jerseys everywhere. You see even more recent a Ronaldo jersey. And you think of the prime players that they've had and the team of what they were, and to see them just, again, being the new guy in this sport, there's probably one of the more boring teams I watch. And I try to watch Man United to be a supporter, to be a friend. You know what I mean? To be a friend. Plus, I've fallen in love with the sport, so you want to watch every game that you can. But they are as traditional of football as I've ever seen, if that's a even way to put it. They are as play out of the back style, wait for your opportunity, try to go for the long ball. I mean, you talk about guys that don't belong on that team, and there's a dude that you said specifically, and I love how you were putting it during the whole FA Cup game. If he scores, you would actually give him his name back, and it's the stuff like that just it's. First off, I love, but it also makes me really think to myself, like, if you feel that you don't think your team has enough to even make it in the Champions League, why? What is it? What are the higher ups not seeing? You know what I mean? What is it? You are Man United. You are a big global name. You have a brand. It's something I'm learning about this side of the football, if you will, is it's all about the brand. You know, the giant brands are the guys that get the giant name players. You know, the Bayern Munich's got the Harry Kane. You know, the Real Madrid has the Jude Bellinghams. You know what I mean? The teams like that. You go to fucking Saudi Arabia, and those are the teams that pay for all the big name players. But we won't get into those teams. But it's the bigger the club, the bigger the guys. And I mean, I have a worldwide superstar on my team. You have multiple on Liverpool. So
Sophia put it perfectly. Every single time
I feel for United.
Liverpool, this was the first time I hadn't heard him say it. Every single game, Bia will turn around and say, "Man United can cure insomnia." Every week, they're the most boring team to watch.
Every week,
but Bia, who are your three best players in your club right now?
Well,
I love that one.
Martinez, Menu, and Garnacho. Everyone else, I'd bin them off.
Wow.
True. Apart from one, who I'll give credit to, is Dillo. I'll give him his flowers this season. He's been great. Every single one of them, they can all go.
I'm offended that you haven't mentioned the GOAT, Harry Maguire, the best United player. He's hero.
Done okay. I will give him that this season.
As soon as he came on against Liverpool, I actually put a bet on him to score. I was like, do you know what? It's worth it.
For a dude who's Harry Maguire's 34, 35?
30, I think. Late 20s.
I thought he was older than that. I could have sworn he was older than that.
Harry Maguire is 31.
He's 31, okay. And for a 31-year-old, he gets ripped on all the time for being a slow center back. But then again, it's just he does the job. Okay, he's not on the level of an Eric Dyer. So let's you know what I mean. You can get away with that right there. I'm not going to pay him what Harry Maguire is going to want to be paid though. So that's for sure. But I want to go emphasizing back to our whole reason of being here, being the Premier League race, the chase for the title, the chase for the top three, as everyone's calling it. The fact that this table is pretty stacked. So I've mentioned a bazillion times that I'm brand new here. I don't know how often, especially in this sport, title races are this close. Both Arsenal and Liverpool are tied at 64 points, and Man City is just a single point behind. Again, they won the treble. They've only lost 3 games this season. Liverpool's only lost 2. And again, that's all in the Premier League, mind you. But Arsenal's lost 4, but they've been on a tear as of late, winning 5 straight. Actually, I want to say more than that. But my records are only showing me 5 right now. But that's beside the point. But being the fact that I absolutely hate them, I can't deny that, though, how good they've been playing. You know, whether it be internationally or whether it had been, in the Prem, they have been the top team. They have showed it each and every week that they are the top team. Declan Rice, I don't want to say he's worth that $100 million he got paid, but the kid's not proven anybody anything wrong, okay? He's went out there and he's shown he's probably one of the best, if not the best midfielder in the Prem. I love Saka, even though I'm supposed to hate him. He is incredible in so many ways. I can't get over it. But as much as I'm sitting here, I guess praising Arsenal, which I'm sure I'll get some shit for by somebody, Liverpool is the team that always scares me. It scared me as a child. It scares me now. And the reason is just as an American. Now, let me spill this as an American. As an American, when you, as a soccer fan, if you will, as we call it out here, when you hear of the name Liverpool, you think the toughest defense you will ever fucking play. You don't think of them scoring a bazillion goals. You don't think of like a Mo Salah going on a fucking hat trick and then some. You literally think of a Van Dijk, the greatest center back in the Prem, probably in the world.
Oh, go on, Bia.
You down.
Go on, Bia.
Beating you down.
No.
Go on.
It's.
Would I put Van Dijk above Rio? Don Sarri? No.
I called Van.
I think he meant. Oh, right, yeah. So in the Prem right now.
I said
As in,
the
like,
Prem.
right now.
In the Prem right now, I think Konate's...
Yeah, not of all time. Jeez.
Konate. I think he's your best defender.
Who?
Konate. I think the Konate. I think he's better.
Okay.
The only one I can think can come close, you could say, is possibly Saliba. And another one who's had a solid season has been, and this is big up for this one, I think it's been Van de Ven. Without him this season, Tottenham would have been worse.
Yeah.
But Van de Ven is a baller. I've got to give his flowers on that one.
I'm not going to disagree with you. We literally seen in one game what he is. The difference of him and Dragusin was massive. Absolutely massive. And it proved to our fucking demise. But hopefully he'll be back this week. But when I watch Van Dijk, to me, he is the overall center back. He can defend. He can carry if need be. He can be offensive if need be. He's an aerial mastermind. He's tall as fuck. Okay, let me just put that out there. That's always a great one as well. But yeah, I'm as much, again, I like being the guy that toots his own team's horn, but I'm also not trying to just be the homer as well. I like learning about this sport. In about 5 years, yeah, it's my team and only my team kissing my ass, but right now let me learn about the sport. And you're right. Van der Ven, for me, the pace, the speed, the recovery ability, just, he's a fucking stallion. He's a fucking stallion. But I see all of that in Van Dijk and then some. And at the same time, I almost don't see Van Dijk get hurt that often. But then again, this is year 1.25, if you want to get technical. So, but we're off on a tangent, but that's okay. That's how we do. This is how we have fun with this whole thing. But to get back on topic, as I was polishing the knob, as we're going to have some fun with that, of Arsenal, talking about how good the defense of Liverpool is, I am absolutely excluding, and I really shouldn't be, the powerhouse that Man City is, and I'm going to say this part, when they're on, because that is something that I've learned about Man City. Yes, they have the Kevin De Bruyne's. Yes, they have the Erling Haalands. They have the Rodrigos. They have the Kelvin Phillips. They have some of the best players out there. But they can be beat. They can get shut down. They are the schoolyard bully, is what I'm learning about Man City. They're the schoolyard bully. They're all talk, they're rough and tough, and they will beat you if you're intimidated. If you're not intimidated, you'll draw with them. If you're really not intimidated, you'll beat them. And that's just what City is. And that's what I'm learning what City is. They have at one point in time been the greatest team in all of football. And now I'm looking at them like, how? Why? Was Haaland really that great last year? Because he's not on that level
City,
right now.
And I'm just like, it's what you said about Liverpool. Like, for years it has been, Man City are going to win this. Man City are going to win this. Oh, you've got Man City on the weekend, you've lost. Like, Man City are just the unbeatable. Like, they're Man City. But this season there's been something, and they're just not there as much. Like, when they came to us, that second half, barely saw them. What were they doing?
Still looking for Ellen Haaland.
Yeah, exactly. Not seen him
Absolutely
since.
anonymous.
He was gone.
That's the one thing that seems to do well, and you do it better than anyone, Chad. The pressing that you do on City, if you press them that high, they're clueless. Pep won't have a clue. It's all right when you're fine and dandy when you can pass the ball, up to like 4,000 passes a game. But when you've got a team pressing you, and City's defence this season, I think for me, has been terrible. The goals that they're leaking this season has been horrific.
Yeah.
I don't think City have been that good.
28. Oh my God,
So
28 goals.
Let me ask
allowed.
you this then, right? Who do you want to win the league, and who do you think will win the league?
I want Arsenal to win the league.
Ooh.
But I still think City will, and I still think Man City will win it. Arsenal, I think, will fall off at the last hurdle. It's going to be down between you two. I think Arsenal's going to fall off. Arsenal may have the easiest games, but they have got the capability of bottling it. And game Sunday is going to properly decide it.
What's Arsenal's schedule look like? Well, I'm about to say, yeah, Arsenal starts with Man City, then they go up against Luton Town, Brighton, Aston Villa, Wolves, Chelsea, Spurs. Then they finish their season AFC Bournemouth, Man United, Everton. That's 3 straight. That could be 3 straight wins, which does nothing for my vote of confidence of any other team beating them now. That does nothing. Their last 4 games, in my opinion, there's one team who I feel is going to beat them, and that's where I'm going to be the homer. It's going to be Spurs because, again, we have a chip on our shoulder. We're going to play Disruptor, whether people like it or not. But other than that, if Man United's below, if they fall, if they go on a run of losses and they fall and there's no chance at 5 for them, I don't think they even truly show up against Arsenal come May 11th. And then what has Everton got? Other than being in all the freaking money issues, financial issues they can fucking possibly be in, being deducted points, possibly on the verge of relegation if they go on a terrible run them damn self.
There are 2 teams that I see beating
I
Arsenal.
hate looking at this.
And that's City and Spurs. The rest of them, the way Arsenal have been playing, they could be beating all of them. They could be beating Spurs and City as well, but they're the 2 biggest threats, I would say.
If they beat City on Sunday, I'm going to really put my money on Arsenal.
If they beat City on Sunday, it's their league to lose.
Yes, agree.
Yeah, you're 100. I think you guys are spot on with that because to go down the last 5 for City, this looks like 5 straight wins. Brighton, Forest, Wolves, Fulham, and then West Ham. I mean, yes, granted, they're still in the Champions League. They still have they're going to go against Real Madrid. Worst case scenario, they get knocked out and then they don't have to worry about it. So then that just makes the fucking league even more theirs. Oh, God damn it. They still got FA Cup. I mean, it's Chelsea, so I don't see them not winning the FA Cup this year.
So they got Chelsea in the semis, and then either United or Coventry in the finals. So, yeah.
Chelsea got the easiest draw, didn't they?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, of course they did. Coventry had the easiest draw there, pal.
I did not.
I'm God. Dude. So your question was who do I want and who I think? I want Liverpool. I think Liverpool would be a good win. I think Klopp goes out as a champ. It's good for morale. Blah 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 blah. After looking and again, I know there's going to be hardcore football fans out there that are going to scream and yell at me. Don't you follow the stats? You got to worry about how they play. Blah 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 blah. Look, dude, let's keep it funky here. Okay, so let me run down really fast. Arsenal's got fucking Champions League against fucking Bayern Munich. You lost, brother. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't give a fuck how good Arsenal on a run is in the Prem. You're not going to beat Bayern Munich. They're pissed right now. Okay, they're pissed. I have a funny feeling Kane just may finally get his first trophy.
That's a bold
We'll get into
prediction.
that maybe on a different episode. Right, they're going to drop they'll probably drop out of the Champions League and then be purely focused on winning. And it's again, another ending schedule that looks easy. An easy possible 9 points for Arsenal. A possible easy 9 points for Liverpool. Possible easier 12 points for City. And Liverpool is who I want, and I hate admitting it, but I think City is going to somehow, some way, pull it out of their ass, whether they're in the Champions League final or not. I think they're probably going to win FA Cup at this point. They're going to beat Chelsea, and then who else is even in the FA Cup? Okay, so City's going to win fucking FA Cup. Sorry, Beer. But
the fact that probably you guys don't know.
You guys play way too far back. You would not know what to do with a high line. Man United would not know what to do with a high line besides get overly exposed and changing your tactics to hopefully try to beat City. It's just not going to work.
Well, one thing that I've realised, City have not beat Chelsea this season.
That was 4-4, wasn't it?
Good hey, you know what? You're right.
It's Chelsea have played well against them twice this season, so I'm not going to rule out Chelsea just yet.
I'd love Chelsea to knock City out. I really would.
And I know I've challenged Chelsea and Coventry in the final Monday.
So Mo was saying, wants Liverpool, thinks City. Bia, what did you say?
I want Arsenal to win it, but I think City will do it.
I also think that City will win it, but I want Liverpool to win it. All three of us think the City are going to win it.
They'll just find a rabbit out the hat from somewhere. It's one thing.
It's City. It's City.
You've got game changers in your team. Obviously Bernardo Silva, for me, is one of the best players in the Premiership by some distance. When you got players like
I'll be asking you this question again in a couple of weeks after City Arsenal, because I feel like every week
that would be
our
awesome.
answers are probably going to change.
I think so, because I think in all reality we're really basing it off of how this is going to go on Sunday with Man City going against Arsenal. That is going to literally be the game that's going to start the quote unquote domino effect going in. You know, if it's a draw, the speculation and everything's just going to fucking skyrocket. If Arsenal pulls out an upset, because I'm feeling that's going to be an upset, then I think it's all bets are on Arsenal. Make them all now, bet your house on them, because there's no stopping them now. But if City break that winning streak, then that means City's flipped the switch. And City's going to turn it on, and here comes Terminator Holland to fucking rail everything. Because again, you guys are a million. When he's turned off, he's barely there. You might as well not even see a number 9 on the fucking field.
What did he do against Liverpool?
But when that...
There was a passenger.
And he wasn't. You're 100%. He wasn't. But when it's on, when that on-service fucking light is on, Erling Haaland is world
Look at Luton
renowned.
in the FA Cup. Smashed 5 goals past them. I mean, it's only Luton, but...
I mean, again, 5. It doesn't matter against whom. It's 5. Okay? It's in that instance, it's not about the quality, it's about the quantity, and goddamn, 5 is a butt ton, to say the fucking least. So, as much as I want to keep going, I do think that this is a beautiful spot to leave all of this on. The chase for the title is got a lot of people's attention. You know, the American wave of soccer is growing, and the Prem has a giant influence on it. Out here, it's a little more, it's a tad more, like the Mexican League and maybe La Liga, but there are some hardcore Prem fans. There's a bunch of different clubs out here. Man City Club, United Clubs. I know there's a Spurs supporter that I've hung out with a couple of times. The nice club of them. But this race has attracted even more fans, and I think as it continues to build, it will continue to add fans, whether it be on your side of the pond or mine. this is awesome. This is one of those things that this is making everything about the Premier League exciting. I keep talking about, like, I personally am trying to get people to watch more football. I am trying to get them on. I was like, if there's any, and I have to pitch my own team, because if there's any team that's been one of the more exciting teams to watch, it has been Spurs. The attacking go, 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 go. Not the sit back method where it's, 45 minutes goes by, nobody did nothing.
Or
no,
United's
they
case,
were
90 minutes go by.
trying for 90. Yeah, it makes it go by. It makes it feel fast. It makes it a game that we feel slow makes it go fast. And having the stars like Haaland, having Liverpool hopefully win a title, all this fun stuff mixed in has garnered nothing but more attention. And hopefully we grabbed yours attention so y'all can come back next week, which we're hoping is going to be coming maybe Friday, maybe Saturday morning. We're going to drop some previews. Saturday morning on my side of the pond. Okay, calm down. We're going to drop some previews for our teams, plus talk about any kind of cool rumors or fun things that had happened up to the week prior. Again, our whole focus, besides our own teams, is on Man City and Arsenal. Who wins that one and starts the domino effect for the Prem title? So before we go, as I do in the TSK, and as we've always done on Max, we got to let people plug some stuff before we go down. So I do know something that all three of us are in, and we're all going to have to talk about it just for a smidge bids a little bit right now. So we're best friends right now, Chad and I, but in 2 weeks' time, he and I will go one-on-one, mano-y-mano, dude v. dude, if you will, for my very coveted, as it's very kind of covered in one of my Tottenham kits, the Max Television Championship on the 9th edition of Max Wrestling's Promo Mania. It's become cinematic. So again, in all fairness and friendship right now, this is going to be fun.
Yeah,
this is going to be fun.
Definitely looking forward to it. The amount of times that I've gone to say Max Wrestling Podcast instead of Max Football Podcast over the past week is definitely something that is happening.
We're going to have to get used to it. We're going to fumble and bumble it a bunch. I promise you this. And who will also be there, who actually is going to be on Max next week, mind you, because we are too busy defending the Max Tag Team Championships in trivia battle against the man we call the captain, and my man Cypher, the current Max Wrestling champion. We're mixing football and wrestling. Come join you. You already know it's the stuff in the background. Plus, we already know most football fans are wrestling fans too. Don't play the game. We already know. Any words for our challengers coming up on Thursday?
Bring them up.
Bring them up. Oh, I love it.
Before we can beat them again.
Short, sweet, simple. Hey, how you doing? It's true. We work better as a team than we do when we're apart. So, with that being said, we're going to get on out of here. We appreciate y'all stopping by. Thank y'all for joining us for the debut edition of the Max Football Podcast. We hope to come back with a whole lot more. Like I said, we're going to come back hopefully later on this week with some previews for Liverpool, Man United, and Spurs, as we've got a fucking crazy last 10 weeks of the Prem here to go. So, with all that being said, we'll catch y'all around the benskis. Thanks for hearing out.
Bonjour.
Gracias.
Sweetness.